Converting from family to professional. Notice in Workspace that there are many libraries at the bottom left, not just the three that come standard, the private, the public, and symbol sticks. Because we have such a small screen, I'm going to collapse those libraries. But library sharing, a component of the professional, also called multi-home board version, allows you to create new libraries for sharing. Library sharing is covered in other Getting Started documents and tutorial videos. Let's talk about a directory list versus a home board. In the professional version, your Workspace home board is not a home board at all. It is a directory or a list. It could be a list of students, patients, or it could be classroom curriculum in the case of a special ed teacher who has several subjects in her Workspace directory. Your Workspace home board, now really just a list, only needs text. It's key for you to remember that once you have the professional version, your Workspace home board, your list of students or classes, will never show up on a device. You wouldn't want a list of students or patients to show up on a device. The home board that's going to show up on the device will be the board immediately below one of the cells on your list. Now, notice that I move to the iPad and I go into Settings, not MyTalk. Once I select Settings, I'm going to scroll down to find MyTalk on the left, and I'm going to look for board name. And it's in the board name field that I'm going to enter the text from the cell that is on your Workspace home board. Johnny, Billy, Mary. Now I'm going to close and get ready to go back to Workspace. Let's finish up over in Workspace. On my Workspace account, you see a typical home board. I've got a lot of work invested in this, so I'm going to want to save this before I create or transition into the professional account. You can save an entire set of boards by dragging them from Map View into your private library. That's because when you drag a cell to your library, all of the cells below them or linked to them come along. In your private library, click the Cells filter to eliminate visual clutter as we prepare to drag cells and boards to the library for storage. So what are the steps to copy an entire set of boards? It's a matter of just dragging each of the cells of your home board over into your library. So the steps: our private library is selected. Our library has been filtered to show only cells. It's optional that you do that, but it's less clutter. You move your cursor to Map View. You can only drag to the library from Map View. What are the key things to remember in the steps? 1, make sure private library has been selected. 2, make sure that your library has been filtered to show only cells. And then you can only drag cells from Map View into your private library. Left click and hold, drag all the way to the library pane. Eventually you're going to get a message, added cell to library as not yet tagged. In other tutorials you can learn about tagging. Sometimes you'll fail to grab a cell. That's okay, or you drop it, go back and grab it again. Now as we finish up dragging your final home board cells, notice in library that they are not tagged. You left click on the triangle to the left to expand them, and notice by their appearance the cell that was dropped into the private library has child boards. You can see the image from the cell on the left, but on the right is the image of the board immediately below it, showing you that this is a cell that has child or linked boards. With all of the cells saved along with their linked boards, it's time to delete all of them from your home board. This is the next step as you prep for the Pro version, changing from a home board to a list. Delete the cell, yes. Delete all but the last cell. You must always have at least one cell on this board. Now that we're down to one cell, let's go to the bottom left and add another blank cell, allowing us to delete the final cell that has content. Now I go to the bottom right of Layout View and change my columns to 1 to make it more like a list. But that's optional. I've seen lists and I've seen grids of 25. It's your choice. We're going to start with 4 sets of boards, so let's add 3 more cells. Now I'm going to select the top cell, and this is where I'm going to put the name of the person that was using my original home board. I'll fill out the text using the name Tommy. It could be music, it could be gym class, cafeteria, or any name, but in this case it's Tommy. Now I want to add a board below the Tommy cell. Select the plus sign at the bottom right of the cell, and that not only creates the board, it takes you to the new board. Now I am on what will become Tommy's home board. And if you remember, it had 3 columns. So go to the bottom right and make 3 columns. And let's start adding back the 9 cells. From your private library, drag your cells back to complete the Tommy board one level below your professional home board. Now go back to home. Add some text to the 3 other cells. We'll call one for evaluation, one will be cafeteria, the other would be music, just as examples. But we have many families that opt for the professional version to have a set of boards visible by context. In other words, they'll have a home set or they'll have a school set, and the school set won't have a swimming pool or a shower or other inappropriate selections for a school environment. So families will use the professional version as well. In Layout View, you see a list. In Map View, you see a list. Let's go to MyTalk and see what happens. This is the first time in since you've had the professional view, and you're going to open up to your original home page. But now you're going to go to author mode, and you're going to log in. An error message, because sometime between now and the last time you synced, you upgraded to professional. When you first open MyTalk, it loads your last boards, but when you log in, you're talking to Workspace, and Workspace tells mobile, this is a pro account, need a board name. So hit the device home button to close MyTalk and go to settings. Tap MyTalk on the left, find the field called board name, and add Tommy. Do it exactly like the text in the Tommy cell in Workspace, and remember that it's case sensitive. Immediately go down to the device's home button to close settings, and then reopen MyTalk and select Fix and Retry. You are synced with the Tommy board. But remember, you could have chosen eval or cafeteria or music or school and home if you're a family, as long as you would have created content on a board below those cells in your workspace. Hope that makes sense. That is how you convert a family workspace account into a professional multiple home board account. And the process is the same whether you're a family with a paid version of Workspace or a professional with the no-cost access to a demonstration Workspace account. Thank you.